Hi guys! So now it's been quite a few savory recipes and I thought it's about time to share something sweet with you, and today is a recipe using, well, for me it's kind of the summer produce. So we are using some delicious apricots and some fresh raspberries to make a delicious apricot and raspberry coffee cake. Let's get started. First I have here my brown sugar, and I'm using dark brown sugar because it gives a beautiful brown color to the cake, and also it adds a beautiful caramel-like flavor to it. Then I'm also gonna add in the eggs. And then we want to whisk the eggs with the sugar until nice and pale and really puffed up and fluffy. So this should take about 5 minutes. And then once it's nice and pale, we want to add in the olive oil and the sour cream. So keep the whisk on low and add them slowly. Then once you've added all of the wet ingredients and combined them, you can move this aside. I then also have my all-purpose flour here, to which I'm adding a teaspoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of baking soda. Just gonna give it a light mix. And then what you want to do is to add about 1/3 of your dry ingredients and sieve them into your wet ingredients. Then we want to start folding this in like this. And then we want to add in another third. And then we can add in the rest. And also fold that in. And then when it's almost combined, so I still have some flour spots there, I want to add in the almonds. So this is almond meal, and I'm just gonna continue folding in until I have everything well combined. And then when your batter is looking like this, so you have no dry spots, it's nice and even, you can transfer it into your cake tin. Then I have my cake tin here lined up with some parchment paper. You don't necessarily need to do this, so you don't have to line the cake tin with parchment paper, but mine has a removable bottom, so I just want to make sure that none of the batter escapes. And now you just want to transfer your batter into the cake tin, and then you just want to even it out nicely so you have a nice and even surface. Then you want to wash and halve your apricots and place them like this with the cut side on top. And then we have the spots in between, so in between the apricots, and that's where I want to add some raspberries. Today I'm using fresh fruit for both, so fresh raspberries and fresh apricots, but you could also use frozen raspberries if you don't have access to fresh. And then the last thing that we want to add is a little bit of flaked almonds. So I'm trying to concentrate those spots where I have some butter peeking through so that they kind of attach then to the batter. And as always, check the recipe in the description box for the details and the baking instructions. Then once your cake has baked through, you want to remove it from the oven and allow it to chill in the cake tin for about 10 minutes before you remove it to a cooling rack, and then you want to allow it to cool completely before serving. So I would dare to say this is a really easy cake recipe, and it tastes really yummy. I love how fruity it is because of the apricots and the raspberries, and I also like the flavor that the almonds add to the coffee cake. But of course you can leave the almond topping out if you like, and you can kind of adjust the recipe a little bit to your liking. Also, what I want to mention is the dark color of the cake comes from the brown sugar, and I really recommend that you use brown sugar because it adds this kind of a caramel flavor to the cake, and it just makes it really flavorful. So if you have a chance to get brown sugar, then get the really dark brown sugar because it adds that beautiful flavor to the cake. Also, I would like to say that this cake is not overly sweet, and depending on your fruits, it can be a little sour. So what I would suggest to do is either test the fruit that you're using, so know kind of whether they're really sweet, so the apricots and the raspberries, or are they more on the sour side. So you can then adjust the amount of sugar that you add to the batter, and also you can then serve it with something sweet. So I usually love eating this cake with a little bit of natural yogurt or sour cream or something like that, but if it's like really sour, then it tastes really amazing with some homemade vanilla sauce, and the recipe for it is here. Or you can serve it with a little bit of vanilla ice cream, and then the ice cream balances out that sourness of the fruit. If you enjoyed my summery cake recipe, then don't forget that thumbs up for support. And if you're new to my channel, then you can subscribe right now. And if you tap the bell, then you won't miss any of my new videos. Thank you for watching my video. Bye bye until next time.